In Monster Hunter World, there are many aspects to consider when taking on a hunt. The target, your weapon, these are all important, but hunters who want optimal performance need to consider the build they use via the armor and gear they wear. I'm Darcblade, and here are even more builds that I use for the Light Bowgun. The skills that you can gain from armor and even some weapons can help shape your hunter into specialized hunting machines. With the Light Bowgun, the weapon is an extremely efficient long-range tool, able to bring down monsters from a safe distance. Whilst it may not be as flashy as some of the other weapons in the game, with the right builds, the Light Bowgun can safely bring down even the toughest of monsters. The various builds I use each focus on a different type of ammunition. So the first build I use is the Elementless build version 2.0. This is a straightforward DPS build using rapid fire normal shots too. With this build you can take on any monster regardless of its elemental weaknesses. So for this build you'll need the Kaiser Crown Gamma, the Nergigante Mel Gamma, Xeno'jiiva Claws Gamma, Xeno'jiiva Spine Gamma and the Xeno'jiiva Spurs Gamma. I'm also using an Awakening Charm too, and for my weapon I'm using the Taroth Blitz Shot. This has an affinity increase augmentation attached to it. As for the jewels, they're mostly DPS ones here. I've gone for an Elementalist jewel to give me that non-elemental boost skill, a Force Shot jewel for that normal shot skill, a Release jewel to max out the ammo up skill, Tenderizer jewels to max out weakness exploit, attack jewels to get attack boost to at least level 4, a critical jewel to max out crit boost, and some mighty jewels to max out maximum might. So if you've done what I've done here, you should have a build with 100 health, 100 stamina, 335 attack, with 45% affinity, which is actually going to be 95% affinity when you're on a hunt, and have full stamina, and you're going for monster weak points. You'll have average deviation. For the custom mods, these are down to personal preference. I've gone for close range up mods, and you'll have a very strong defense that is strong against water, thunder and ice, but you're very weak to dragon and slightly weak to fire. As for the skills, you'll have attack boost level 4. If you're going for attack boost, always try to get it to level 4. At level 4, you get the increase to your attack, but on top of that, you get an extra 5% affinity. I've gone for ammo up level 3, increasing the amount of bullets we have in a magazine. The amount differs depending on what type of ammo you are using. You have critical eye level 3, increasing our affinity. Crit boost level 3, increasing the raw damage of our attack when we crit a monster. You have weakness exploit level 3, increasing our affinity when we're attacking monster weak points. You have maximum might level 3, increasing our affinity so long as our stamina is full. You have normal shots level 1, increasing the damage of the normal shots, and as this build is focused all around rapid fire normal shots too, this will increase the damage of it. You have power prolonger level 1, a byproduct of the gear, not needed on this build whatsoever. You'll have special ammo boost level 1, again a byproduct but can be useful for increasing the damage of our Wyvern blasts. And you'll have non-elemental boost level 1, increasing the damage of weapons who do not have an element. In the case of Light Bowguns, this applies to weapons that don't have elemental ammo. You also have the following set bonuses: Xeno'jiiva's Divinity, Spare Shot, which gives you a chance of not consuming a bullet when you fire your weapon. So there you have it. As you can see, it is a straightforward DPS build. It does lack a little bit in the survivability department, but given that the Light Bowgun naturally has a decent defense by not having to get close to a monster to deal damage, it shouldn't matter too much. Now, I don't normally go for crit boost when I cannot get 100% affinity, but because crit boost is attached to numerous pieces of armor we are using, namely the Xeno'jiiva pieces, I went for maxing this out. But all of this combined makes a very powerful build, able to bring down monsters quite quickly, even at endgame, regardless of their elemental and ailment resistances. But anyway, let's move on to the next build, which is the KJÁRR or KJÁRR DPS build. This build focuses on using any of the KJÁRR weapons found from Arch-Tempered Taroth. For the purpose of this build, I'll be showing off an Ice Elemental DPS build. So for this build you need the Dragon King Eye Patch Alpha, the Kirin Jacket Gamma, Xeno'jiiva Claws Gamma, Xeno'jiiva Spine Gamma, and the Xeno'jiiva Spurs Gamma. I'm also using a Frost Charm 3, and for my weapon I'm using the KJÁRR Blitz Ice. This has a affinity increase augmentation attached to it. As for your jewels, again they're mostly DPS ones here. I've gone for Tenderizer jewels to max out weakness exploit, a Release jewel to max out ammo up, Expert jewels for some critical eye, Mighty jewel to add some maximum might, and a Mind's Eye jewel to add the ballistic skill. So if you've done what I've done here, you should have a build with 100 health, 100 stamina, 280 attack with 55% affinity, which is actually 100% affinity so long as you're going for monster weak points and have full stamina. You'll have average deviation. For the custom mods, I've gone for recoil suppressor, and as for your defense, you're fairly strong against water, thunder and ice, but fairly weak to fire and dragon. As for the skills, you have critical eye level 6, ice attack level 3. Ice attack basically increases the ice rating of our build, so it applies to the frost ammunition. You have ammo up level 3, crit boost level 3. Crit boost, like I said, applies only to the raw portion of an attack. It does nothing for the elemental portion. unfortunately. You have Weakness Exploit level 3, Power Prolonger level 3, a byproduct of the gear, Special Ammo Boost level 1, Maximum Might level 1, Ballistics level 1. Basically the Ballistics skill shortens the distance before ammo and arrows reach their maximum power, so the critical distance, and you'll have Critical Element level 1. Critical Element is normally found on the Rathalos set bonus, but it's also found on some of the KJÁRR weapons. This allows for the elemental portions of our attacks for the damage to be increased when we crit a monster. So think of it like crit boost, but for the elemental portion of your attack. You also have the following set bonus, Xeno'jiiva Divinity, Spare Shot, giving you a chance of not consuming a bullet when you fire your weapon. So as you can see, this is a straightforward DPS build again, but focuses on elemental damage. So you have to take into account a monster's weakness when using this build. Now, like I said, crit boost does nothing for the elemental portions of our attack, but crit boost combined with critical element means that the two are working together to increase our overall damage, so long as we're critting monsters. And as this build has a high affinity, that should be easily achieved. Also as well, you don't have to use the KJÁRR Blitz Ice, you can use whatever element or ailment you want. But if you do swap out the weapon, make sure to swap out the Frost Charm to match whatever element or ailment you are using. So as well as being a high DPS build, this build can be quite versatile when you are switching between the various elements in Monster Hunter World. Anyway, let's move on to the next build, which I call the Breaker build. This is a little bit of an all-rounder build that can focus on really any ammunition type you want within the limits of the weapon we are using, and on top of that is great at breaking monster body parts. This build initially was built for taking down Kulftaroth. So for this build you'll need the Kaiser Crown Gamma, Kirin Jacket Gamma, Nergigante Vambraces Gamma, Nergigante Coil Gamma, and the Nergigante Greaves Gamma. I'm also using a Shock Charm 3, and for my weapon I'm using the Emperor's Shell Sticks. This has an affinity increase augmentation attached to it. As for your jewels, we've gone for a mixed bag here. First of all, a Release Jewel to max out ammo up, Tenderizer Jewels to max out Weakness Exploit, Destroyer Jewels to max out Part Breaker, Vitality Jewels to max out Health Boost, Expert Jewels for some Critical Eye, and a Mind's Eye Jewel to add that Ballistic skill. So if you've done what I've done here, you should have a build with 150 health, 100 stamina, which will actually be 200 health when you're on a hunt and you've taken all your relevant consumables. You'll have an attack of 282 with 55% affinity, which will be again 100% when you're on a hunt and you're going for monster weak points, and have full stamina. You have low deviation. For the custom mods, I've gone for reload assists, and when it comes to your defense, it's not too bad. You're strong against fire, but you're a little bit weak to the other elements. As for the skills, you have Critical Eye level 5, Attack Boost level 4, Health Boost level 3, increasing our health to that potential 200, Thunder Attack level 3, increasing the thunder rating of this build, Ammo Up level 3, Weakness Exploit level 3, Part Breaker level 3. Part Breaker basically increases how easy it is for us to break monster body parts. You have Agitator level 1, a byproduct of the gear but can still be useful, as when a monster becomes enraged it increases our attack and affinity. You have Maximum Might level 1, Ballistics level 1, and you have the Spare Shot skill level 1. Spare Shot is normally found on the Xeno'jiiva set bonus but can also be found on the Emperor's Shell Sticks. This gives us a chance of not consuming a bullet when we fire our weapon. You'll also have the Nergigante's Hunger set bonus, Hasten Recovery, allowing us to restore a tiny bit of health when we attack a monster. So as you can see, this build is a little bit of an all-round build when you think about it. It does have high DPS potential, but on top of that it has a little bit of survivability thanks to having a higher health pool and having the Hasten Recovery skill. Whilst the health regen may not be the best on this build, every little helps. Of course, there is lots of room for customization with this build. For example, you can drop the Destroyer Jewels if you so wish, or Flawless Jewels to add some peak performance if you wish, if you want to raise your attack. And also, if you don't want to rely on the rapid fire thunder ammunition that the Emperor's Shell Sticks has, you can swap out the Shock Charm for something else. You can either swap it for a Flood Charm if you would prefer to use the rapid fire water ammunition, a Normal Shots Charm if you would prefer to use normal ammunition, or a Dispersal Charm if you would prefer to use spread shots. The choice is down to you as always. Nonetheless though, this is a great build for taking on Kulftaroth or any other monster that you're fighting at endgame. But anyway, let's move on to the fourth and final build, which is the Spread Shot build version 2.0. This is a build built around level 3 spread shots. As such, it is a high risk build as it is a close range DPS build. So for this, you'll need the Xeno'jiiva Headgear Gamma, the Draken Mail Alpha, Draken Vambraces Alpha, Xeno'jiiva Spine Gamma, and the Xeno'jiiva Spurs Gamma. I'm also using the Awakening Charm 2, and for my weapon I'm using Devil's Madness with an affinity increase augmentation and then a slot upgrade augmentation. As for your jewels, I've gone for mainly DPS ones here, a Release Jewel to max out ammo up, Tenderizer Jewels to max out Weakness Exploit, a Spread Jewel to give us that Spread Shot skill, Attack Jewels to get Attack Boost to at least level 4, Expert Jewels for some Critical Eye, and a Mighty Jewel for some maximum might. So if you've done what I've done here, you should have a build with 100 health, 100 stamina, 334 attack, with 30% affinity, which is actually 80% when you're on a hunt and you're going for monster weak points, and have full stamina. You have high deviation. For the custom mods, I've gone for close range up and then recoil suppressors. And as for your defense, you're very strong against thunder as well as water and ice, but you're fairly weak to fire and dragon. As for the skills, you have critical eye level 7, attack boost level 4, ammo up level 3, crit boost level 3, weakness exploit level 3, blight resistance level 2, a byproduct of the gear but can still be useful as it helps you resist elemental and element blights. You have spread shots level 1, increasing the damage of our spread ammunition. Power prolonger level 1, again a byproduct, not useful on this build unfortunately, and you have maximum might level 1. You also have the following set bonuses: Xeno'jiiva's divinity, spare shot, giving this build a chance of not consuming a bullet when we fire the weapon, and you have soul of the dragoon, elemental airborne, but it's kind of wasted on this build. Elemental airborne basically increases the elemental damage of our attacks when we perform jumping attacks. So there we have it, this is a very powerful DPS build, but unfortunately you need to get close in order to make the most out of it. This obviously eliminates the natural defense that the Light Bowgun has, which is being able to be at range, and with its low health pool, it puts survivability in question. Nonetheless though, if you're able to read monsters' movement and master the Light Bowgun dodges, survivability shouldn't be an issue. With that in mind also, you have to be careful when you time your reloads with the Devil's Madness. Spread shots level 3 unfortunately requires you to stand still to reload, so always pick your moment. But if you're able to master all of this, you'll have a build that is easily able to bring down any monster in the game. So there we have it, those are even more builds that I like to use for the Light Bowgun. Of course, Monster Hunter World is always being updated with new monsters and gear, which can potentially cause these builds to change and become even stronger, especially with Iceborne on the horizon. So if any major updates happen to any of these builds, I'll be sure to release updated videos. Remember also that almost any task in Monster Hunter World can be taken on with any weapon or gear set. You don't have to use what is shown in these videos. These are just the sets that I personally like to use. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful or informative, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you even more builds that I like to use for the Light Bowgun in Monster Hunter World. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.